Mr. Sneed, at the time that deal was made, was your divorce pending?
It wasn't actually put back into the courts until the defendant's mom and I went forward with the divorce, so.
Okay, so there had been a divorce action filed that was kind of sitting stale at the courts.
Yes.
Had you reconciled at some point?
We did.
Okay.
I was in the household. Once it just wasn't working, we at that point were gonna go our separate ways, and some other things happened, and the defendant's mom told her to stop paying me.
Okay, Ms. Solomon, tell us your version.
So the car was bought from my mom. Her car had been sitting in the shop for a little over 2 months. She wasn't sure if it was gonna be able to get fixed, so they did agree to buy a car. Once she realized her car could get fixed, then it was like whenever her car was able to be back out the shop, like it would then be my car. That's why it was originally put in me and her name.
Okay, so from the get-go, it was put into the two of your names.
Yes.
All right, so there was always an idea that you would have some interest in this car.
It was a possibility. Yeah.
Okay, and you were there when the car was purchased?
Yes.
Did you test drive it?
My mom handled everything. I just was there when she found it. She test drove it.
Okay.
Said it was a good car.
And you were put on the initial registration?
Yes.
Was there any agreement that you would be responsible for repayment?
So I was going to be originally paying my mom $1,400. She said they were going through like their separation. Things kind of got hectic, and then he started to bring the car into it. Like, I bought this car, now I want my money, da da da. So instead of paying her, I agreed, let me just give him the 14. I can be out of it, because I kind of brought into it. Like, he was doing a lot. I'm gonna give him the money.
Is this your mom, by the way?
my mom.
Ma'am, come on up. Okay, Ms. Francois, why don't you tell us what happened when this car was purchased?
So we separated. There was a divorce. We got back together. We were currently living together. Everything was fine. My car was in the shop for a few months. Then she wrecked her car, and the only car that we had was a car that was not really good to. It was good mechanically to drive, but you couldn't open the doors from the inside. The windows wouldn't roll down. It was actually
not an ideal vehicle.
Right. And I still have a younger child that needed to go to school. So, of course, I complained to my husband that I'm your wife. I shouldn't be driving a car that is a death trap. Can you please get me a vehicle? Because I was not working at the time. So he purchased the car for me. At the time that he purchased the car, I then on the back end told her, I don't know what's going on with my car, but if it does get fixed, I'll give you this car. Him and I started to have an issue.
All right, so before we go there, was there an agreement that you would repay him for purchasing the vehicle?
Not until I mentioned that I was gonna give her the car.
You two were together at the time? Okay.
Yes, his argument was, I purchased this car for the household, everyone. I have a 21-year-old son, and he's like, for him, for everyone.
Do you agree that it was a household purchase?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Do you agree that it was a household
No,
purchase?
I don't, because the agreement was they would pay me back.
I understand what you're saying, yeah.
I was injured, and so I have a few settlements coming in. And so because I was not able to work, and because he felt like I was spoiling my children because they're not his, you spoil them too much.
Right.
It was causing a huge argument and problem. I said to him, okay, fine, you're right. She should have some responsibility, so I will get money from her.
At some point, the car was transferred solely into your daughter's name, correct?
Right.
When was that done?
So this happened during the time that him and I had been separated. He was no longer in the house.
Right, things got heated, things took a bad turn.
We had some law issues and things coming in, and he had begun to send her messages threatening. He was telling me that I would never get to keep anything in the house, the car, whatever, right? This is all divorce
The kind of things
crap.
that divorce people threaten against each other.
And when after I spoke to the police, they said, ma'am, your name's still on the car. If he comes to the house and he takes it, there's nothing we can do.
That's correct, right.
And so I said to them, well, can I take my name off? And they said, if you can, then maybe
if you can being the key, right?
They said, if you can.
And the problem is, when a divorce is pending, you are not allowed to transfer property to a third party in order to keep it away from the divorce court.
Right, which is why in the restraining orders, I asked for the car to not be touched by him.
So the concern, though, is that the transfer is not a legitimate third-party transfer, because that was community property. And the question is whether or not that will affect the outcome of what's here today.